Welcome to Late to the Show. I'm your host, Prophet74. Today I got some exciting news. I got my top of the line machine today. It's a gaming laptop, extremely high end. Everything souped up just before the 3080 series of RTX models. This is available now. Now this model right now, it's a heavy duty machine. It's about $3,000. It's a little heavy step for some of your pockets, but what it can do, it's incredible. I have the first series of it. This is the second model of it. Great machine. So hopefully you guys sit back and relax and let me explain what we have in this box. All right, so off the bat, they got rid of the red logo now. They got the mirror. It's similar to the Mac, what Mac did. They got rid of pretty much their LED light and they put a mirror similar to it, because the actual bezels and the monitors are getting a lot thinner and not a lot of lighting can be fit in the back. So eliminating is a great easy way to control that system in there and make sure that you can fit all this stuff. With this machine, this is a top of the line machine that it's all souped up. Retail price is around $3,500. You know, it's right now it was a 35. It was 31. Now the prices are actually 3,500. I'm not sure what the market is. Why is it pushing so much? Is because shortage of maybe memory or shortage of video cards. I'm not quite sure. So we're gonna take a look at it and see what you get when you purchase something like this. So first of all, if you guys see it, the vents in the back hasn't changed. Still the same. All right. This is where it's gonna blow all the air out pretty much, and in the bottom it's gonna suck into the air. But they made a modification in the bottom that I'm going to show you guys what it has worked for it. Before it was pretty much a flat base. Now they got this little level, and there's some little levels here. I'm gonna see if you can see them right now. So these actually are really awesome. It's a great addition to it from the last one, because now it kind of sits up in an angle where it sucks in the air and the air flows in here, it sucks it in and it blows it out to the back. This is a great addition to this stuff. So this Omen, I'm gonna open it up so you guys can see even the inside of it, how much it is and how strong it is, because and what you can upgrade when you purchase something like this. So first of all, let's go on the side first. So on the side, if you guys see it, this one 3.1 I believe is a second USB second series SD card reader. This is for all your photographers out there that are transferring stuff. This is where it is. Vent that you get, that's pretty much it. Nothing else on this side. It's only 2 entries and that's pretty much it on this. On the back of it, they removed everything. There's nothing in here no more. Like I was showing you earlier, there's no connections no more, but they moved everything to the side now. Okay, so they give you a NIC card here, HDMI connection, and 2 USB type 3.1, and then they give you a mini display port, if you guys can see that, and then right next to it a type C, and then the 3.5 jack millimeter for your headset, and of course at the end you're gonna get the power for the power supply. Of course the power hasn't changed. This is still a big brick, but they actually slim it down. So we're gonna go ahead and open it up now. Fingerprints, if you can see it, they're getting there. You're not gonna avoid this. So they kind of brush the metal, and they made it's something I don't like when the fingerprints get there. So you're gonna constantly be cleaning it up, and you might end up scratching it. So that's another issue you might take. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now if you guys noticed, the actual power supply now, it's a lot slimmer. They slim it down maybe by a couple centimeters, but it looks more slick now. It's all curved right here, but still it's heavy duty. Not a pound yet, but maybe on the next one, but it's heavy duty and I like it so far. So it's currently 200 watts. All right, so it takes a lot of power. So just to give you guys a heads up on the type of docking station you're gonna buy, make sure it can power this. All right, so look up the description on the link that I'm gonna set up, how to buy maybe a docking station for this. Camera, mics, everything included. They don't have a to block the actual camera. It's not there. But if you guys see it now, right in front of the freaking monitor, it tells you 300 hertz right in front of the monitor refresh rate. All right, this is phenomenal machine now off the bat for gaming or for any of those systems that you're running. If you're running BIM and you're trying to move an object left and right, you will see that blurriness. It's completely gone. 300 hertz. It's more than what you need. It's equal to your regular home monitor that you have. 60. It's not equal to your monitor. Imagine you're a 60 hertz monitor you have at home. Now compare with 300 megahertz. So this is something that you guys at least test out with the blurriness. There's a couple of tests I did before in the past. If you guys want more information, hit me down the link below and I'll give you guys some more info. Or I'm always gaming on my gaming channel. If you guys want to come in and ask questions, be free to ask anything I have experience for. I've been doing IT for more than 20 years. So if you have any questions or you need any assistance, let me know. Hit me up. I actually remote control people into people's computer and help them out before. And just let me know if you need any kind of help. I'm here for that. So let's go continue. Now, if you notice, it has a 10 keys. Everything's fit in here. They crunch everything together. This part hasn't changed at all. They still have this two keys here. They eliminated the centerpiece like Dell. Dell still has the center mouse, but this one though, they have the gaming keys, the WASD keys. They have it. They still have all the function keys, and now they added this key right here. If you guys see it, this is the Omen key. I'm not quite sure what it does yet. I'm still gonna go in there, but most likely it's gonna bring the Omen applications up. So that's another thing I gotta. Now, if you guys notice something off the bat, there's something very important here. Now, this one has a Core i9 Intel chip. All right, it's a 10th generation. On top of it, it's powered. The GPU is being powered by RTX 2080 Max. All right, so it's not the TI, it's a Max. It still hits the damn speeds that it needs to. It's a great machine, like I said, and they slim it down just a lot more than the last one, and it actually picks up a little bit more, so it could suck in the air, which I like. That's very important, so it could keep the temperatures controlled. Because on the last one, I did a video about changing out the thermal paste on the older versions because it did tend to overheat, and if you're playing a lot of games or doing a lot of BIM development, you need to maybe change it once a year because the thermal paste starts messing up. And then when you start seeing it that it's failing, it's when it starts shutting down and because it's getting overheated. So that's another video I have down below if you guys want to hit it up somewhere anytime you want. If you want to learn how to change thermal paste on these type of machine, let me know. You can find my channel, you can find my videos and look it up. So let's go ahead and continue on the system. Now we're gonna open it up and see what's under the hood, and I'm gonna give you guys the description there, right, of all the details on this system. But so far, I'm very, very, very excited about this machine. I mean, it has everything a gamer's dream of. It does everything a desktop can do, pretty much. So let's go ahead and open up. All right, just make sure you save the screws somewhere, all right? And somewhere you can see them, all right? Because they're really small, and it has one screw here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you got to make sure and make sure you got the right tools to do this, because you don't want to run that screw because you don't want to ruin it too. And avoid trying to do this in the beginning, or you're gonna sometimes ruin your warranty. So please do not do this if you're not familiar with it. Once you take out the screws, you're actually going to need something sharp or something for the edges. It could be a credit card, or it could be one of these guitar picks, or I mean, this is a special one for just some phones and accessories like this, hardware like this actually. So this is one that you lift in there and you kind of run it down so you won't mess up any of the hinges that are grabbing. And mostly all these hinges are grabbing this plastic or this metal, I'm not quite sure what it is yet, are made of plastic. So be careful how you do that, and don't avoid the warranty on that. So finding an edge, it's easy. Pretty much comes out automatically, and you just run it, and you lift up a little bit. You kind of make it a little bit crooked if you guys can, like a little sideways angle like this. All right, so if you guys notice how I'm doing it, it's nice and slow. And then when you go on that side, you lift the opposite way. All right, you don't want to ruin the hinges because like I said, it's just don't want to ruin the warranty, and you don't want your laptop to look a little odd too when you're actually setting it up. So be careful how you open these. All right, that's pretty much it. The back, you pull back up. Now this is all made of plastic, but some pieces are metal, and if you can see it, it has a protective foam in here. We're going to talk a little bit about it. It's because this one houses another internal hard drive in here, and this is a mechanical drive. All right, so we're going to take a look at it and see what I mean. All right, so here we are. We're on the actual inside of the actual system. And if you notice here, let me open this up right here. Okay, here we go. On this part right here, it's housing the M.2, the SSD drive in here. And we're going to open it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So let me open it up. And just to give you guys a look inside the actual drive itself. So let me put this screw somewhere. I won't lose it. And we're going to lift up. And it does have a protected layer where it's a thermal tape, all right? So be careful not to remove it. It's a little moist, so you want to keep it like that because that's how the system is capable of handling. And here's a protected thermal tape I was telling you about. So be careful on that. If you could buy this replacement, they do sell replacements out there. They come in a little strip of piece of paper or wrapped around, but make sure it's a little moist like that too, so it could give you a good protective. Now, if you guys could see it, XPG M.2. And this is a pretty fast chip. If you see it, it's a 2 terabyte. All right, it has a 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe. Fast chip. Transfer rate is pretty good. On top of it, 2 terabytes. All right, this is more than what you need by itself. You know, so this could be housing your OS and some applications plus files and stuff like that. But because this machine is more for a BIM developer or gamer that's going to have multiple games, you're going to need more space, of course. And of course, let's go ahead and continue and put this back where it belongs. Make sure that the copper's not showing up in there. Once it's not showing up in there, you go ahead and put this back. But we're going to also put the base in there. So we got the chip in there. It's protected by, it has a thermal tape right underneath. Okay. Now, if you guys can see, these are massive fans in here. This is actually a smaller fan than this, consider. So when it sucks in the air, it blows it out through the back. And now they got rid of the tape on this part. They got some foam here where it actually covers, it uses its cover to actually help it stream the air out to the back. Now, GPU and CPU is on this side, GPU is on this side. The reason is the GPU has two intakes, two different copper settings in here to cool it down. So if you guys can see this, let me see if I can put a pencil in here. If you guys can see there's two ways of, this only has one cooling area. This has three, 1, 2, and 3 cooling areas. So this is the GPU on this part right here. GPU sits protectively underneath these things. CPU sits right here underneath this thing. So it's going to cool out more of the GPU because that's where you're going to get more of the heat. Now the i9, it could tolerate a bunch of heat too, but it does need a lot of cooling too. So this is a little different from the last one, and I'm gonna see if I could get a picture from the actual HP that I had that opened up. It's a lot different design now. Like I said, two different types of fans. This is a larger fan than this one right here. This is a little bit larger, a little bit, you could tell the difference on it, but it does a great job by keeping everything cool too. If you're going to replace the thermal paste down the line, it's going to be a little hard to take all these screws, but there's much more that you have to do. You actually have to unscrew some of the things, but that'll be in the next video, a couple of videos from that one. Right here is your Wi-Fi card, your MiFi card. So not a big difference on it. You go upgrading down the line. They got rid of the WAM intake in there. On top of this one right here, there is no SIM card. I don't see a SIM card reader at all. It's not made for business type. It's only for pretty much, like I said, development and gaming, you know. Great battery. They also put a thermal tape here on the battery itself. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but to replace it's pretty easy. The battery, it gives you a couple screws here. If you guys can notice, it gives you a little arrows where to actually disconnect, and then you do have to disconnect the battery. There's one area right here where we have to disconnect the battery. Make sure your computer's not on before you do that, right? It might have some adhesive tape right underneath of it, but that's something that down the line I'm going to check out. Right now, currently, I don't want to take out the battery. Great thing about it, I'm going to show you guys here. It does come with another hard drive in here, and this is actually a 2 terabyte mechanical drive. All right, we're going to open it up. All right, let's go ahead and take this off. So on this one right here, if you guys notice, it's a mechanical drive, a 2 terabyte mechanical drive, and it's tied in with the actual jumper here, HSD connection. If you guys see it, I'm gonna disconnect it here so you guys can see a little bit more. All right, to remove it, it's a little hard. All right, so you gotta make sure you squeeze it out properly. You don't want to bend those needles. All right, so we're gonna remove the hard drive, and this is a mechanical drive in here. It's a little slow. We're talking about 72 RPMs. It's not the 10,000, all right? But because it's so slim and the profile is very small, then it needs to be like that. Now, these are a little fragile, so you got to be careful not to drop them. 2 terabytes, a lot of space now, so for this machine. So we're going to put it back in a bit right now, but I just want to show you the actual external extra hard drive that it comes in here. Extra storage space, I will say, not hard. This is actually a hard drive. It's a 2 terabyte mobile HDD, all right? So these tend to overheat a lot and produce a lot of heat. So my recommendation, if it's possible, replace the drive with a SSD M.2 if you can, and if you, because the slot does not, you can't add an M.2 in here, you're probably gonna have to buy a converter. And I did a review on a converter for M.2 to this type of SSD. There's a couple of items that you can buy on the market. So if you guys have any questions on it, let me know. So this is a 2 terabyte hard drive embedded in the system. So really neat. We'll put this back right now. We'll plug it in. So you got space enough for another drive in here. I mean, they shrinked everything down and they added extra space. Before it had an M.2 slot, but I would prefer an M.2 slot than this. This actually takes a lot more space and it produces more heat, especially right next to the battery. It's a little thing that I kind of tend to fear a little bit. But other than that, the system looks great. We're going to cover it up in a bit because this machine is all beefed up. It comes with two memory sticks in here, and this is 64 together, right? So it's a beefed up machine. We're talking about 32 gigs to produce the 64. It's a overkill, to be honest with you. But once you get this machine up and going, you're not going to need to replace for a couple of years, which is great. This is actually stronger than an actual desktop and some of the common desktops I've seen. The only thing, they tend to retain a lot of heat. That's why desktops still are the champs on that. Hopefully in the future, when the actual CPU and the GPU changes, we'll see more changes to it. But at the moment right now, it's still a desktop, you know. But this one could compete with any of the big boys right now that are out there, except for the new generation is coming out with the 3080s and the 3090 chips, video cards. That's a total different matter. So we're gonna probably see if we're gonna see one of those by next generation, next couple of months from now, maybe after Christmas. We'll see some of the new generations coming out with the new laptops with the CPU and GPUs changing out. So there's a couple of contenders coming down, so we'll see it. But the price is a little heavy for this machine. But what it can do, it's amazing. There's a bunch of benchmarks on this machine. At the moment, I'm not going to do a benchmark because my thing is mostly about upgrade and what you can do and what you can change down the line. And memory, maxed out already. You can't change it. You can't add anymore. It's pretty much 64 is max. M.2, you could change that out. Right now, currently is 2 terabytes. It's maxed out currently. Battery can be replaced. I have replaced this battery before, for not on this machine, on the older machines. Hard drive can be upgraded to SSD if you want a faster transfer, less heat. This could be the NIC card too could be actually the wireless card can be transferred and replaced too. Other than that, if you have any questions or any comments, let me know. More than 90% of you guys are coming for my reviews and to get some knowledge of this stuff are not subscribers. I really need help out there. If you guys can. Subscribe and hit the like button. I'm your host, Prophet74, and we're out. Take a look at it.